So yeah, this is the new rear courtyard garden. It's a stroll courtyard garden with a memorial wall in it as well to various people who have left their remains here and stewards. I think we might name this the George Robinson gazebo. Remember
Nice.
good old George. We'll put a little brass plaque on the side for the George Robinson gazebo.
Yeah. We got a nice view down to the marsh.
Yeah.
And a
And that will
beautiful.
eventually be an all little white walkway down there with a tower. Yeah,
And it's got a circumambulation path all the way.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And this will have solar lights all over the place as well, so you'll see it in the winter out through the windows. You'll see this all lit up at night.
Yeah. An exterior lounge at the Denver airport. I'm glad it's not minus 40. Coming back to the question of how do you stay mindful? How do you develop that continually? I think at one level we can't, realizing that. When we first come to the practice, you just start to see how strongly our conditioning, our habits have conditioned how we do think about things, how we do feel about things. And if we've had a mind that's never been trained to stay focused, it's just naturally going to wander, to do these things. The first insight is like, oh yeah, I don't really have any control over this mind. We may have a desire to be able to control it, or have read books or listened to Dhamma talks and have maybe even a correct understanding of what mindfulness is and have some techniques. It's like a professional athlete or someone has a great intellect. They don't necessarily understand their subject that they're taking on to study right away. It took time, took effort, took discernment, took some effort and energy and applying their minds to it, to analyzing it, trying theories out. It can be slow, can be fast, but it's a process of putting energy into it. The same can be done with said about like mindfulness. I've talked about this once or twice before, but when I was first here, I think it was Scientific America did this magazine article, and I remember it. I remember there were like 3 articles in the magazine that at one level didn't seem to be related at all, but I'm sure they probably were. One of them was about quantum physics, and one was about a person who was born blind, but there was only just something very minorly wrong with his eye, and they were able to much later correct the vision. And there was another article about consciousness. So there's these 3 articles. Back to the blind skier. He had actually set like a world record for the fastest downhill skiing as a blind skier. And what he did is, for blind skiers, you have somebody in front of you with like some sort of like beeper on the skis, and they can hear the terrain by the beeps or the sound coming from the skier in front of them, and can actually ski. It set the world record for the fastest downhill skiing. But then they corrected his eyesight. He said he had a really hard time living in the world with vision because he didn't know what to do with it. When we grow up with the senses as babies, we figure out very slowly in this process of how perception works, how our thoughts about things work, and how to react to things. And so he just, as an adult, all of a sudden, boom, he had corrected his eye and he had 20/20 vision. But he actually described it. He said, I had this new sense that I didn't know what to do with. He said, when I saw something, I tried to taste it, or I tried to smell it. I tried to smell this vision, and it wasn't giving me any feedback. I tried to hear it, and it wasn't making any sound. So I found this really quite fascinating. And then I started thinking about the question then about consciousness. So if we have some intellectual understanding about mindfulness, you can see, there's a real value in that. I've had some experience of that. But yet we've never trained ourselves to be mindful. We just can't say to ourselves, okay, now all of a sudden I've got this understanding of mindfulness, I'm going to be mindful. It's just like we're trying to see mindfulness, or we're trying to hear mindfulness, or we're trying to taste mindfulness. So it's something we have to have an intellectual pariyati, book knowledge about what it is. We have to pay attention to it, understand the benefits of it. And then, you say, as Ajahn Pasana is always pointing out, it's like really paying attention to the results of our practice. So if we kind of can see, yeah, mindfulness is valuable, this is something that I need to pay attention to, then pay attention to when we put forth that effort to be mindful. The Buddha's asked several places, how mindful do you need to be, or how concentrated do we need to be? The Buddha says, just enough to know that that's what's happening. It's not that we can't get more concentrated or be more mindful, but kind of working in the world, it's just having that bare awareness, bringing mindfulness to it. The conversation was around speech. Like, yeah, some people, speech might be what throws them off. For other people, it might be speech is the time where they're the most mindful, because like they're really, their strong intention in life maybe is not to harm people, or not to exaggerate, or not to tell like white lies, or just, they're really very conscious about their speech. So someone for that, like, speech might be the time where they're the best at mindfulness. And John Steinbeck was saying that a journey takes us. And so, having this journey of understanding mindfulness, and just see where it opens us up. Where is it going to take us, instead of us trying to control the mindfulness? Just where can we learn? Where can we be? Where can we expand and be more at ease? So I'll leave that for our reflection this evening.